Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are back for another episode recap of SnowFall. This is season 6, episode 6, and it was titled Concrete Jungle. Very good episode. This one really broke my heart.
Oh, it broke a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
It did.
But before we start getting more into the episode, I want to make sure to let you guys know to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and also click the notification bell. So do those things right now.
Please.
So jumping back into this episode, I think we all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We kept seeing all the signs.
We did. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I wish though he could have made his great escape, but the good old wife kind of kept him.
Louie gotta get the hands.
Louie got to get the hands, and giving her the hands tonight and in advance for next week, because I saw the previews for next week.
Yeah.
And she was playing her friend.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
I was just
like ungrateful. After he doubled back to come and spare your life.
And
not being gang raped.
And not only that, you blamed him when he was there, and you were talking about it's all your fault, rather than asking him to help you. The first thing came out of your mouth was, it's all his fault. Really?
So yeah. And she even at the, earlier on when she was talking with Jerome, and he was letting her know he wanted out the game. He said he was tired of how it had ruined them and how his family, he was being pitted against his family. And Louie really was still being very selfish. It was all about Louie and what Louie wants and how she wants to be respected as a woman in the game and whatnot. And I'm like, she admitted y'all had everything you wanted. You had the money. It all it was for her was ego. She just wanted her ego satisfied.
Right.
And it really ticked me off. So I was completely with Jerome when he said, I'm done. And I don't care, what you try to say to bring me back in. This is a wrap. I'm gonna make this one last drop, but this is it. So Louie, she really took it to another level this episode.
Well,
and so
low level. I mean, I didn't know you can go
very
that low.
Very low.
She dug a deeper hole this episode.
Yeah,
now, it was hard to watch seeing her get tortured though. Like like I said, now was it her fault that she's in that position? Yes. But was it hard to watch to see her being brutalized and branded and all that stuff, and see him kicking her and stuff? That was difficult to watch.
Yes,
no, absolutely.
It was.
Absolutely. And for Kane to do what he did, it's just, Kane, I was hoping that Franklin would walk in there and just shoot Kane in the head right off the bat. But I knew that wouldn't happen. But, even Franklin, as angry as he was with Louie, he felt compassionate enough to, rally the troops. And at least I know that there's some honor even among gangsters,
Exactly.
They're still family. They're still family. That was, because the bottom line, they did have a good relationship before that. And she did introduce him to the game. So he did. You can tell that Franklin was bothered. And he did, he and Leon came in and did their thing from the back while they allowed Jerome to come through the front.
Yeah. Scully even chipped in.
That's my saying, Yeah. I mean, it was the gang's all here, and I'm like, that's some honor and some thieves. So and I was like, okay, that's right. That's right. They were correcting a wrong, and Kane couldn't have been. Only problem is they didn't get Kane.
Well, yeah, that is true. The thing that kind of confused me about Kane's demand was that he was asking her to give up Teddy, like, tell me where he is. And I'm like,
no, Kane was asking for Buckley.
He
was the cop.
Okay, I thought I heard Teddy. I must have misheard that.
He was, he asked for Buckley. And that's the thing that was getting me. I guess she was taking a tack, but he did say,
I think when he said you're protecting a pig, I thought he was referencing Teddy, but I forgot Buckley.
No, because Buckley was a former cop. So because remember, Buckley was the one that actually shot Kane.
Exactly.
So he wanted, and she stood tall and didn't give him up. And I guess
I would have been singing.
I'm like,
but like she was right though. If she did give him up, she said, what you think? You think I'm gonna give him up, and then you're gonna let me walk out of here scot free? It's not gonna happen.
He was dead either way.
Either way.
But Buckley, here's the thing. She was standing tall trying to protect Buckley, and when Jerome was trying to call Buckley, he was hitting the pipe. And he was not answering the phone. So he wasn't being there for them, but she sitting here getting the crap beat out of her, standing tall, not giving up the tapes. But this Bama was,
He
was on that little pipe or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was getting high. Sky high.
Yeah, so I mean that whole scene was unfortunate. I'm also glad Percy got what he had coming to him. Oh, pimp named Slickback with the curls.
Yeah. Oh,
I was so sick of him and the way that he was talking at Louie, and just really just being disgusting and trifling, low down. So
Louie
he already got.
Louie read him though when she talked about his, because you can see from his face that she was telling the truth.
He reminded me of a scene with Martin Lawrence dressed up like a. You remember that? Dressed up like a pimp. No, Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you talking about Jerome, Rome, Himalayas, that
right. Yeah, so I was glad that Franklin did step in. I think his conscience got the best of him, and he was like, "Let me just step in and whatnot." And it was unfortunate, that Jerome got taken out. So he and Kane both shot and killed each other.
Yeah.
And it was just a really sad ending to see how she cried over his body and whatnot.
She did.
Man, Uncle Jerome was one of those characters that you really, really loved early on, and then you could see how Louie's influence corrupted him.
Yeah.
And you was hoping that he could get a clean escape, but
it seemed to me with all that talking that they were doing, Kane and Jerome, because a couple of times it looked like Jerome had a deadbeat shot on him, while he was holding a gun up against Louie's head. But I understand it. If he had taken that shot, I think Kane's weapon was cocked back. So even if
his reflexes could have just kicked in.
Yeah.
And so
they shot each other, and I still blame Louie because he been wanted out the game. Yep. And they were in that situation because she made that call to kill, to do the hit on them, when Franklin and them had a strategy to work another way. And she made that audio audible, whatever.
Yeah.
And
I was just sad. I was just sad that they didn't kill Kane in that initial shootout. Because I was like, man, if they can get him at that point, it would have been all over. But for Jerome, he had to stand and take a bullet, but he.
Well, I had thought about Franklin, because I was like, okay, had he not called Jerome down there, it might have just been Louie. But then I was like, but the way Jerome is about his woman, he would have gone charging in there anyway.
That's exactly what
would have been killed. It probably would have been the same result either way.
I agree. Yeah,
so
he likes to.
It is a little bit of Franklin's fault because he told them where to find Louie, but then he did try to clean it up at the end. That's why I gave him, I didn't put him on the hands list, because he did try to clean it up at the end. But what were you gonna say, Ron?
No, I started saying it brings up a good point, because Franklin, I know your anger and how you felt about Louie. But did you really have to give up that information? I know you were under the gun with
Staples,
it. But and at least maybe you should have, I don't know, try to, tip her off and say, hey, when you go to the Staples, whenever, you might want extra men there.
But they had already been shooting at each other. When the season started, we saw when Leon came back, they had already been trying to take each other out, and Leon and Louie and them were responsible, besides the dude Todd, for running up in Kane's house and stuff. And remember how she was talking last week? She was like, "Oh, we could have had them both." She was dead set on killing Franklin and Kane.
The main thing that kind of irritated me about the situation, though, is that Franklin is the plug. essentially, like, he's at the top of the food chain, and Kane kind of comes underneath him. Now, I think the only reason why Franklin kind of lets Kane slide with some of the stuff is because they have a past relationship where, you know, Kane was his OG or whatever coming up. So I think that's why he really kind of like respects him, and he didn't just off him off the jump, you know. And that's kind of why I was like, dang, if only Franklin like nicked that in the bud like off the jump, right, we wouldn't even be in this situation. But you know, it is what it is, and it hurt. It even hurt Leon. You could see in his face that he was hurt by Jerome's
crying.
death.
Yeah, he was, because that's they family at the end of the day.
And I wonder if this starts to make him, you know, reconsider, you know, being in the game, because he's stepped back into his role.
I don't think so. I think he's become more hardened the longer he stays there. I think in his mind, there's some cleanup duty, and we got to clean some of this mess up. And to a degree, he's right. I mean, you know, you got to get rid of those bad seeds. And personally, go with Wanda and going back to Africa and call it a day. But
that's what I say.
I agree. The only thing is now, so Franklin was talking at the beginning of the episode with V and her mom, and after they had just gotten back, you know, and mom was going in, she was like, look, you don't need to be with him, he's dangerous, it's not a good plan to go back with Franklin. And V really held Franklin down.
She stood like, nope, tall.
I'm gonna stand. Look, that's my man, and I'm gonna stand beside him.
Well, we said she was going to try and do that earlier on, so she was true to form. Although I have to say, given the circumstances that we know of with Franklin and his will to kill, there was some truth to what she was saying.
You know, it wasn't true. It was.
But she said he's coming undone.
Yeah, he is.
He's coming undone. But she also, you see what she did, and we said she was going to do that. She said she had 2 tickets,
right?
And she was going to take it for both of them. So she was going to try to rob Franklin, as we thought, and stuff. And the only thing is that V said she wasn't with it. Unless V, I still think V might be a rider for real.
Yeah.
But unless she's thinking of doing it on her own by herself without mom. But she did stand tall.
Yeah, mom's always had an exit plan.
Always. And
yes, she did.
I'm afraid for V because, you know,
I am too.
That's a setup for a disaster.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because what happens next?
What happens next?
Pulls everybody in the room and is like, look, Teddy has gone scorched earth. He's going to try to retaliate. Y'all need to hide out. And Sissy was like, I ain't doing it. Like, I'm not going to live my life like looking over my shoulder. I'm going to stay here in the projects because he ain't coming down here.
And Leon said they were going to protect her because they said he ain't coming to the project.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I was like, I don't know. Teddy be getting bold sometimes.
Yeah, Teddy would. That's a recipe for you know.
They would air Teddy out. He better do the sneak attack.
Well, Teddy also warned his ex-wife. You know, she needs to get out of Dodge. There was a viable threat from Franklin against her life, her and the son that they share. So, you know, it's really
he was shook, wasn't he?
Well,
he was shook. He was calling folks. I said it. You should be shook.
Yes.
And that brings on vulnerability. So Teddy's not as ironclad as he used to be. So you know, he's very vulnerable. And when you're that vulnerable, you're likely to make a mistake.
You heard what he was talking with Carissa, basically asking her, do you want to just get up out of here? We can take the money and go. Like, I was like, this is the first time I've heard Teddy say, I'm going to look out for myself first ahead of the CIA interests.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because that was unexpected. Because, you know, think about how far we go back with it. Like, he met Franklin like in season 2 and turned him on, and he was a kid. And now Franklin has not only become a boss, but he's a killer. And he let him know, let him know he heard his father die. And he was like, this kid was like, listen, you ain't giving me my loot, your girl and your kid could be next. I was like, woo. Yeah, he knew Franklin wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about Teddy going to Gustavo's? I'm sorry, not to Gustavo, to Ruben's house, and basically threatening his life.
That was bold. That was bold.
Bold and stupid. Again, very vulnerable, because Ruben might have had some poison that he could have put in that coffee. He was
trying to get Ruben shook, and that's why I got to see what Ruben is made of now, because I'm like, Ruben, he's trying to play you like a punk. Like, is Ruben formidable? Or is Teddy still as fearsome as
I think Teddy put an ounce of fear, maybe more than an ounce of fear in Ruben. Ruben could have shot him at any point in time, but in fact, when somebody tells you, if you don't leave, the next time I see you, I'm gonna kill you.
And back off stuff.
Yeah, don't say those words to somebody like Ruben and not expect something in return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like he said, if Ruben is all that we think he is, then it's Teddy got something else coming for him.
Right.
Well, in fact,
that was real bold. That was real bold.
Now the question is, does Ruben go to Franklin with this, and the two of them team up? We already got Gustavo, who's working out with Franklin. Although it was hard for me to trust him based on what we know.
Gustavo?
Yeah.
Based on what
we already know about his split dual.
His alliances.
Yeah. And so I was a little worried.
He did say to Franklin, if you're gonna do this, like, you gotta
take him out.
Teddy is
he
dead.
did say that.
Yes.
I mean,
so that's what made me think. I'm like,
coming back after me and my family.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you drop from 10 million down to 1, at least the initial payment,
you gotta be desperate.
Well, that's because because right now all that money, Franklin don't have 10 million. That's what he said. I can give you $1 million now. He said, and when I get the rest of the money, I could give you that. He don't have 10 million to give Oso. Yeah, and right now, also trying to get out of Dodge. He's like, look, you got the money and you got the passport.
$1 million back then, you can go anywhere you wanted to.
Exactly. He was like, I just want to get me and my family out of here, which makes me still nervous for Oso, because I think Jerome ain't gonna be the only body dropped.
Yeah.
You think Oso?
Well, look,
I hope not.
I read an episode description for next week's episode, and I'm gonna just say Gustavo might be running out of time. I don't know, but that's kind of what the next episode description suggested. So
you
we
think
already
Teddy
lost one this week.
You think Teddy finds him out? You think Teddy finds out about?
That's the obvious one, but he and Tony also had a fallout this episode too. So I was like, I don't think Tony got it in him to take Gustavo out. So that would be a disappointing.
It might be Teddy. You might find out he's trying to bounce, or if he finds out like that he's been talking to Franklin, because Franklin is an op right now to him.
Yep.
Right.
And so that could get Oso killed.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on. I think because we're already more than halfway through the season. It's only 4 episodes left. So I think we're gonna see, a lot more drama, a lot more deaths, and some arrests.
And some, because last week, as I was saying, Gail Bean tweeted, and she just said, like, for last week's episode, she was like, that death is in the air, and then she was just like, she pretty much alluded to it getting worse from here. So I think people gonna, until the end of the series, people gonna be dropping off. They're either gonna be dropping off or going to the bed.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna address that female child, Uncle Louie. I know it's Aunt Louie, but it's Uncle Louie to me, because she wants to wear the pants. So I'm gonna give her the pants, Uncle Louie. Y'all think she's gonna survive this? These episodes?
I don't think so either. I don't
see how she can, like. I know next week we're gonna have a lot to say about her, but I just think that she has let her ego take her too far, and she's become too self-centered about what she wants, and there's nothing anybody else can say to her. And now you add the grief of losing her husband on top of that. She's gonna be so erratic and irrational.
She's blaming Franklin. Franklin
like
might
I said,
have to
erratic
take her
and
out.
irrational.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, because Franklin's like, I saved your ASS, and all you got for me is to put this whole thing on me when you were the one that initiated all this to begin with.
And here's the thing. It also looked like in the preview that she was telling Sissy that it was Franklin's fault too.
Yep.
And so in one scene, I see Franklin trying to hold his mom's hand and his mom is snatching her hand back. Yeah. So, you know, she might be blaming him for her brother being killed.
Well, I bet she is. I'm sure she is, you know, or at least indirectly blaming him, you know, in the sense of if you weren't in this mess, you know, he'd still be alive and the whole nine. But your brother was a grown man and he was trying to do right, was trying to get the, you know, to get himself together and leave. But unfortunately, Miss Louie.
Yeah.
And now we know why that mechanic was saying last week, like, no, I got people I gotta get home to.
Right. Exactly.
He was not trying to have Jerome hang around because he wasn't trying to be in the middle of that food.
Exactly. So I think our who can get the hands list, Louie is 100% on there.
Yes.
I think old boy, little pimp, he's definitely on.
Oh yeah, Percy or whatever his name is.
Percy. I'm giving Kane the hands too.
Well, he's got
for beating on a woman and stuff.
Well, Kane's taking a dirt nap now, so you know, I'm not even gonna waste my hands on him.
Yeah, because he got killed in that shootout with Jerome, didn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. He's taking a dirt nap.
I'm nominating Franklin too. He can get the hands for giving up the location. Yeah. I'm sorry, Franklin. You should have never gave up the location.
Exactly.
Nah, he should have said, I don't know. But I guess because they would have see, he ain't know how sadistic Kane was gonna be.
Right.
You know,
but I mean,
she tried to kill him
I guess twice. What did he think was gonna happen?
Well, of course. Like you listen, it was hard to watch him beating on a woman and stuff like that. But you know, from his vantage point, she did try to kill him twice. So, you know, I think Franklin probably thought that he could live with it if he did not see it, if he wasn't around.
Right.
He thought he was going to give up the location and be out of Dodge. But when Kane called him down there and made him be a witness to it, you see, Franklin came in the door copping, please. He was like pretty much said, I ain't had nothing to do with this. This ain't on me. This on you. He said it straight from the gate. This is on you. This ain't me. So he was letting Louie know, like, this ain't me.
You are 100% right, but Franklin's still getting the hand. Sorry.
Okay. No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I am not protecting Franklin. He deserved a hand.
Now the game ball.
I do appreciate that he did change his mind and decided to go back, because I was like, he gonna go back. I was like, you can't. This is still family. You beefing, but this is still family. You can't let them do that to family.
Yeah. And it shows that there's still some human characteristics in him. You know, even if she wasn't family, just to see a woman get beat like that, and then to realize that, you know, she's going to be gang raped by these funny looking characters, you know, but you know, so he did what he had to do.
Yeah. And you know who else? There were some other dudes in Kane's crew that was just waiting in line to get a they can all get the hands too.
All of them.
Trifling.
All of them.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say the game ball goes to Jerome. He went down like a G. You know, he was going out there to protect his woman, try to save her life, and he ended up taking the bullet to spare her. So I'm giving, you know, Jerome the game ball. Shout out to Amen Joseph, who has done a phenomenal job playing Uncle Jerome all these seasons. You know, sad to see him go. And if he had to go out, you know, I'm glad he made it to the end, to the last season. So
me too.
Yeah.
Louie was a G too, though. You got to keep it a buck, because you know she was taking that beating and she still would not snitch. Even with the branding and stuff, she put her neck up like, go ahead.
Ain't no doubt she's a G. I mean, she was taking blows like, you know, would have made most men sissies. So you know, but my thing is, what's his name? The detective, the
Buckley.
The Buckley. I don't necessarily call it snitching when you give up that fool, because he was nothing but bad news the whole time.
Oh, I guarantee you, he's gonna disappoint again before the end of the season.
Yeah, you know what? Giving him up, that's not even snitching to me. That's some low level snitching.
That's what I said. I wouldn't have taken all that abuse for Buckley. I mean, I think it was just the idea she didn't want to snitch. But for him, you think I'm gonna be?
I say untie me and I'll take you.
Kicked and all that. No, I would have.
I say untie me and I'll take you right to him.
And I'll give honorary mention for runner up to the game ball to Scully for showing up in their time of need. So
especially he was down given their history.
Yeah,
especially given their history, because the Saint family ain't been that loyal to him either. They took Man Boy's side in their beef and all. They got all types of history. So the fact
his
that
girl dead, his daughter died,
everybody, and the fact that he still pulled up to protect them,
and he took a bullet in the shoulder too. So you know he's a real G.
Did. Yeah. So overall, this was a great episode. I really, really love this episode, even though it broke my heart.
It broke my heart too.
It was well done.
Can we give a half game ball to Oso for at least going to Franklin and helping him out, saying at least that he would help him out, or is that too early?
I think it's too early to tell.
I think it's too early because I don't think he's gonna get a chance to help. He ain't gonna get a chance to help Franklin. It's a thought that counts.
Right.
All right. Okay.
So just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching. Please drop down in that comment section and give us your thoughts on this episode, as well as your predictions for the remainder of the season. Also subscribe to our channel, like the video, and click that notification bell if you have not already. We have a lot of great content. Make sure you check out our playlists for all of our interviews. We got a ton of content there for you guys to go through that I know for a fact you will enjoy. Also look out for anything we have coming in the future. You know, we always got something brewing. So you're going to want to click that notification bell so you're in the know. We are also on social media at The Spot Real Talk on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. So keep up with us on there as well. You guys got anything else you want to say before we close out?
Nope.
Rest in peace, my man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Uncle Jerome.
Yes.
So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, for another recap of SnowFall. Right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Dead to me, R.I.P. buried. 무리들이 몰려온다 사자해라 미리. Dead to me, R.I.P. buried. 무릎 꿇고 고개 숙여 반성해라 피리. 왜 이래요? 잘못 오셨네요. 상관없는 자에게는 묻지 마세요. 성격 끝이 씻고 and I live to tell the tale. 못이 박히기 얘기했지만 coffin and a nail.